Hey guys, my name is Nov. As you can see, I am currently sitting in queue for Runaways, so I just wanted to take this time to very quickly let you guys know where you can get all your tier 1 mats from, all the one-time sources, so you can reach tier 2 in the matter of maybe just a few days or even a day. I am currently item level 560 and I got all my upgrade mats from doing just main story quests, Chaos Dungeons, Guardian Raids, Abyssal Dungeons and Island quests. And now I will tell you exactly what Island quests and everything else I have done so far. And also what remaining sources I have, so I can get my final push to item level 600 so I can start working on tier 2 content. Alright, so when you finish the Northern story, after hitting level 50, you can start doing your daily content like Chaos Dungeons, Guardian Raids, your daily tasks and weekly tasks, or you can just go straight to Shushire and do the main story quest of that continent. Doing all the quests, including side quests in Shushire, will give you a pretty reasonable amount of upgrade materials, which will let you push your 302 gear that you get from Shushire to around 340 item level, which is +2 enhancement on all pieces of your gear. After doing that, you can do your Abyssal Dungeons, both of the first 2 Abyssal Dungeons one time, so you can craft your epic rarity Abyssal Dungeon set, and you also get a very reasonable amount of upgrade materials from the Abyssal Dungeon. Do not forget to get your extra upgrade mats by paying an extra 30 gold after completing the Abyssal Dungeon. After you have ran both of the Abyssal Dungeons, you should have gotten one of your equipment pieces as a job, and you should be able to craft the rest of the gear set from the mat that you have got. Now, after crafting that set, you can go to the honing NPC and recycle your enhancing progress from your blue gear to your epic gear, and you can keep enhancing that gear from now on, at least until you get your Rohendel Abyssal Dungeon set. So after doing your Abyssal Dungeons, you should just keep honing until you run out of materials. And now is the time to start doing island quests, unless you're planning to just log off for the day. If you want to log off, then make sure to do your daily content like your daily tasks, Chaos Dungeons and Guardian Raids. These are very important because you can only get loot from them 2 times a day, and you can only do 3 daily tasks a day, so make sure to do them every day for all the mats that you can get. If you plan to keep playing for the rest of the day, or at least a few more hours, then I would recommend to do the quests of these islands. This is a list of all the islands that I have done so far, and some of them you can't complete right away. But still, for completing parts of the story, you still get upgrade materials, so you should make sure to do the quest until you run into a problem. But I will tell you guys what each of these walls are. So the first island that I did was the Shadow Island. This island is pretty straightforward, just read the quest and see what your objective is, and once it requires you to go to the 24th floor. That does not mean that you need to go to the 24th floor of the island. The 24th floor that you need to reach is in the Tower Dungeon, not on the Shadow Island. But do not do your Tower Dungeon on your main right away. This is a very important thing actually, because at least the first 5 or 10 floors you want to first complete on one of your ults, because all you get from the first about 10 floors are basically just engraving books and like some stat potions. But if you do them on any of your characters, your other characters will get upgrade materials instead of the one-time rewards. So it's very nice to at least do the first 10 floors on an ult first and then on your main. The next island that I did was the Dreamgull Island. That story is again pretty straightforward, just follow the quest line. But at the end of it, you are required to play the song that's called the Forest Minuet, which you get from the Lullaby Island, and it will take you at least a few days to complete unless you're playing the entire day, and you attend to it every single time it's available, so it's not really too realistic for most people. So for now, I'm just gonna say that you can't do the final part of the Dreamgull Island, but still go there and complete the quest to that point when you need to play the Forest Minuet song. This island gives a very good amount of upgrade materials. The next 2 islands were Sunflower Island and Peyto. These 2 are again pretty simple. You just need to go from A to B and just do the quest. Not really too confusing. But one thing that's very important for the Forest Minuet song actually, that on the main floor of Peyto, on the big area, whenever you climb the first stairs on the ship, you can run straight to your right, and there will be an NPC selling a song called Song of Resonance for 16,500 pirate coins. That song is required to get the Forest Minuet song, because when you go to the Lullaby Island, and there's the event going on currently, which is, I believe, in every 2 or 3 hours, maybe 3, then you can only participate in the island event by playing the Song of Resonance. And you need to do that a few times to get the Forest Minuet song, which you need for the Dreamgull Island, and also a lot of Mokoko seeds and other stuff, so it's really good to work on it. Okay, starting from Peyto, you also need to go to the Glacier Island, and that island also gives you more upgrade mats, so these islands are pretty straightforward, so I don't need to explain too much. After that, I went to the Runaways Island, I believe, and that again is a pretty straightforward quest. You just need to run around and find people, basically. If I have footage of getting to an NPC that hides somewhere, then it's most likely currently playing on the screen. After that, I went to the Starlight Isle. That's again pretty straightforward. During these island quests, you are also required to go to Artati, Northern, Anika, and everywhere, so expect to do a lot of sailing. And before doing this, if you have already got your login event ship upgrade mats, then make sure to upgrade your ship to at least level 3 or 4 if you can. And you also get ship upgrade mats from reaching item level 420 from the Welcome Challenge, I believe, and you also get more after finishing the Rohendel story, I believe, so you will have a very good amount of ship upgrade mats if you're just playing the game. After the Starlight Isle, I think I went to the Turtle Island, which again requires you to run around the game, so it's nice to just go to each island and start as many quests as you can and try to do all of them that are in the same area at the same time. After the Turtle Island, I went to the Panda Island, which can be a bit confusing because there are some stuff hidden that are not shown on the map. I don't want to spoil the fun for you, so just run around the whole island and just look for secret stuff if you can't complete the quest. And again, I just wanted to quickly mention that these islands all give very good amounts of rewards, so you want to do each of them because you will need all these mats to reach tier 2. After that, I went to the Whale Island and to the Toto Silver Island. These give again a lot of upgrade mats, and you also get a pretty good amount of pirate coins from these islands as well that you can later spend on more upgrade mats and a lot of one-time purchases from NPCs on some of the islands. And I think that's all the islands that I have done so far for tier 1 mats. I might have missed some, but to make sure you know what islands give tier 1 mats, I will link a map in the description, actually at the top of the description, and also a document that you can take a look at to see what islands you want to do for tier 1 mats. Okay, so after doing all of these islands, all of the quests, you should be able to get to at least 460 item level, but I think you should be able to get to around 530 or something like that. And this is just from the island quests, but there's still a lot of mats that you can get from other sources, so I will talk about these from now. So, but before that, I also just wanted to really quickly mention that do not stress over being efficient at this time of the game, because you want to be efficient with your time later on when you're just doing your daily content and your weekly content, and you don't want to waste your time doing unnecessary stuff. So you can worry about that later. For now, just try to enjoy the stories of the islands. There's a lot of really cool quests for you and a lot of very fun islands to do. So instead of trying to rush, just make sure to take your time and enjoy this beautiful game. Just do it for me, please. Your route doesn't matter. You can do the islands in whatever particular order you want to, or you can just form your route as you go. It really doesn't matter as long as you get it done. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you get it done in 2 or 3 days or in 1 day, as long as you get it done, because this game now, Lost Ark, is here to stay. 1 or 2 days might matter in the short run because, you know, you see all the streamers in tier 2, some are even approaching tier 3, and you still haven't even finished the main story quest. That does not matter at all, because in a few weeks, most of the players will be in tier 2 and tier 3, and we will be doing all the same content, all of us being on pretty much the same item level, having done all the content, and we will need to wait for the rest of the content to come out, so it's really not a big of a deal if you're being a little slow. Just take your time. I am also not trying to rush too much, but I think I'm going on a pretty decent pace for how much I actually got to play so far. Okay, last thing regarding the islands is that there are some that also give tier 2 mats and engraving books and all other stuff. There are some really easy to get island tokens, so by doing 2 random islands you don't really waste your time because there's a reason to do each island, but it's good to, for now, just focus on upgrade materials. That's why I'm trying to tell you which islands you can do for upgrade mats. Also, this is very important. I'm sorry for saying this late in the video, but these island quests give character bound materials. You cannot trade these, and you cannot give it to any other characters on your account. So you want to do all these islands on the character that you want to get to tier 2 first. You will need to get the rest of your characters to tier 2 eventually, because you want to supply your main with tier 2 mats, so you can just switch mains in tier 2 or tier 3, it doesn't matter, but for now you want to funnel all the upgrade materials onto one character. At least the materials that you can trade. And the materials that you can only get one time, like the island materials, you want to obtain on the character that you are currently pushing to tier 2. So don't do each island on different characters, make sure to do it on one single character. Okay, I think that's it about the islands, so now I'm gonna talk about the rest of the sources you can get upgrade mats from. So first of all, you want to always do your Chaos Dungeons after you have used up all of your upgrade mats, and you want to do the highest Chaos Dungeon that you can, because of course evidently the highest level Chaos Dungeon will give more rewards than the ones below the highest level. So always make sure to exhaust your upgrade mats and then do your Chaos Dungeons. This is also true to your Guardian raids, but the Guardian raids are somewhat of a special case, because for every Guardian that you kill for the first time, you get upgrade mats without having to harvest their soul. So before going in to like Yornil, the first Guardian, make sure to uncheck the soul harvest box and then defeat Yornil, so you don't use up your daily loot on him, because you are probably higher item level than 302 when defeating Yornil for the first time. And by doing that, again, you don't use up your daily loot, and you can use that up on the highest level Guardian that you can actually defeat, and still get your one-time mats from Yornil for the first time you defeat him. And that goes for all of your characters. So after defeating Yornil, you can go to the second Guardian, and if you're higher item level than that, then you can also do the same thing, do not harvest his soul, and still get the first time clear mats. And keep doing this until you hit the highest Guardian raid that you can currently clear, after exhausting all of your upgrade mats of course, and then harvest that Guardian's soul 2 times for your daily loot. This way you may basically maximize how much upgrade mats you can get from Guardian raids. And I think that this goes without saying that you, of course, every day want to do the highest Guardian that you can for the most amount of upgrade mats that you can get. And also, if you're playing your ults already, then all the upgrade mats that you get from Chaos Dungeons and Guardian raids, you can send over to your main. And they also generate bound upgrade mats, your ults, that is, from all the daily sources, and especially from daily and weekly tasks. And you can use these upgrade mats and also your first time clears on like Guardian raids and Abyssal Dungeons, I think, but maybe Abyssal Dungeons are actually tradable. But yeah, you can use these bound mats to hone the gear of your ult, and they can start cleaning higher level content, so they generate more tradable mats. This is the basic formula of the game actually. So you every upgrade mat that you can trade, you send over to your main, and all the bound mats you use on your ults, so they can clear higher content and make more upgrade mats that you can again send over to your main. Okay, after doing your Guardian raids, you want to make sure you have done your Abyssal Dungeons as well, because they also give upgrade mats, and you also want to pay gold for the double loot at the end of the Abyssal Dungeon. Your next source of mats is going to be the weekly resetting merchants. These are currently only the Infinite Chaos Exchange, your Guild Currency Exchange, which is the Bloodstones, and also the Pirate Coin Exchange. All of the upgrade mats that you get from the Bloodstone Exchange and the Pirate Coin Exchange are tradable, and the store is for each of your characters. So if you buy upgrade mats on your ults, you can send those upgrade mats to your main, and your main can also buy more upgrade mats as long as you have the required amounts of currencies. Pirate coins are really easy to get, and the Bloodstones you can only get by participating in guild content, for example donating silver every day. Do not donate gold ever, you never want to donate gold, only silver. Okay, remember this, unless you're like really trying hard to push the guild levels, which I can see why you would do that, but I don't think it's worth it at all. Unless you're like veiling for the game, so just stick to silver. And you can also participate in guild research if there's one currently going on, but for that you need a lot of members. And lastly, there is the Infinite Chaos shop. So the Infinite Chaos is a reference to basically doing your Chaos Dungeon after your first 2 daily clears. Your first 2 clears give all the gear pieces, jewelry and upgrade mats, but after your first 2 you can keep doing the Chaos Dungeon for special materials, which you can spend on more upgrade mats, engraving books and jewelry. And you also get some jewelry dropped in these Chaos Dungeons, but that's not really worth farming, because dismantling those or salvaging those does not give upgrade mats. But the jewelry that you get from the Infinite Chaos shop does give upgrade mats if you dismantle them, I believe. So you also want to exhaust that if you're looking for like your last fragments and stones that you need to push yourself to tier 2. Other than that, there are basically 2 more sources that are worth mentioning. One I have already mentioned before, but I wanted to say it again. The tower dungeon is very important. I cannot stress this enough, that you do your first at least 5 or 10 levels on one of your olds, and then do it on your main. Do not do it on your main first. Do it on an old first. It's very important. You get a very good amount of fragments from the tower dungeon, which can be a bottleneck to run into when you are doing your last few levels of pushing your gear. And the last thing that I wanted to say is that you get upgrade mats from clearing dungeons for the first time, but only once per account, starting from Rohendel, that's item level 460. Before that, no dungeons should be giving you upgrade mats, but after Rohendel, every single dungeon on each difficulty, so in normal and in hard difficulty, gives you upgrade mats. So you want to clear them on your main, on both difficulty, because they give you upgrade mats. And doing all this should be enough to get to tier 2. I am currently 560 item level, and I've only done the islands and a few chaos dungeons and guardian raids, but I still have a lot more to go through. So I think I should easily get to tier 2 if I finish all the things that I have mentioned in this video. I have not done all of them, only like 3/4 of all the things that I have mentioned, and I only need 40 more item levels, but that's not gonna be easy to push through, but I'm sure I can find out what else I can do to get my last few item levels. Again, links for sources for the island quests are at the top of the description, and I also have some other useful links if you're confused about anything in the game, so make sure to look at those links. And also I have already covered a very reasonable amount of this game on my channel, I think, so I think it's fair to say that if you're looking for stuff, then you can maybe take a look at one of my videos on this channel, because I have like an in-depth guide that I basically cover most of the content in the game, like starting from all the daily activities, chaos dungeons, chaos gates, world bosses, and all the other stuff. So if you're like confused about any content in Lost Ark, then just try to look at some of my videos, maybe. Or you can of course just look at Saintone's written guide, which is one of the best sources to find information about this game. It has already helped me so much since I have started playing the game almost a year ago. So yeah, this is what I have done and the rest of my plans for me to get to tier 2, and I think that as long as you're following these steps, you should easily get to tier 2 yourself. If you think that you have run out of upgrade mats from these one-time sources, then your best bet is to keep doing your daily content and do as many daily content as you can, like world bosses, chaos gate, and all the other daily content, as well as play on your ults and send over all the tradable mats that you can to your main. And that should be enough to get to tier 2 in 1 or 2 days. I really hope you found the video helpful, and if you did, please give it a like. And also, don't forget to subscribe for more Lost Ark content. One last thing, I wanted to mention that if you're watching this video after I uploaded it, or at least on the same day, chances are that I am currently streaming on Twitch. So if you want to come and hang out and watch me do the islands and the story of the game and just play Lost Ark in general and chill out, then make sure to come and say hi. Other than that, thank you guys very much for watching. Keep enjoying your journey through Arcasia. I hope you're loving Lost Ark so far, and I will see you all next time.